Hello, coming to you from joyfultomato.com. Today's subject we'll be discussing is what is tomato wilt? Tomato wilt is a common problem among tomato gardeners as well as organic gardeners. It usually causes the plant leaves to turn colors and curl downward. Often the leaves will start yellowing. You might start getting brown spots on the ends of them. What types of diseases can cause this to happen to your tomato plant, and how can it be avoided? There are quite a few culprits that are notorious for causing tomato wilt. By being aware and paying attention to them, you can better protect your organic tomato garden from attack. Culprit number one, excess water. Tomatoes are highly susceptible to water wilt, and especially so when grown in poorly drained soils. Overwatering your tomato plant can cause it to wilt. Now, keep in mind this depends on many factors. Most often happens when you're growing tomatoes in pots and there's a lack of drainage for water. I firmly believe in watering tomatoes heavily. This is what plumps them up. This is what gets them growing. Just make sure you're set up for adequate drainage. Whether if you're growing your tomatoes in pots on the patio, make sure that you have possibly put gravel in the bottom of the pot to help keep soil and dirt from clogging the escape routes for the water, or utilize raised beds. If building raised beds and you're trimming it out with wood, make sure to use a wood similar to something like cedar or natural wood, which is chemical free. It's very tolerant to pests and water damage. Termites don't like it. It is virtually rot free. Whereas something like treated lumber, ACQ, MCQ, often known as green board, it contains harmful elements that can taint your organic garden. It can get into the soil itself and then in turn through the root system to your plants. Water wilt is a good reason to think about making raised row gardening part of your vegetable production program. Culprit number two, bacteria. Some tomato plants have been known to suffer from bacterial wilt. Look for extensive rotting at the pith, which is the upper part of the root system or the lower part of the stem just above the roots. Sometimes you can have a discoloration taking place. It can become brittle, brown. Even if you were to snap it open, it would end up being hollow in the center. You can discover whether or not this is happening to your plant by having it tested. If the bacterial is taking place. If bacteria is truly causing wilt in your garden, be sure to get rid of all of your affected plants. This can wreak havoc on your entire crop. It's contagious. It can go from one plant to the other. It can, if you're digging in one plant, it's very easy to taint the other ones. Or possibly select a variety of tomatoes that are less affected by bacterial wilt or tomato blight for your area. Tomato wilt is not an organic gardener's friend, but with a little industriousness, focus, and watching for signs that your plants are giving you visually, you can keep it from making your garden a place of refuge. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode on tomato wilt. For more information and questions, visit joyfultomato.com/blog for more great tomato gardening advice.